Okay.
Dana, you genius.
Well, hey everybody, and welcome to the Initiative Order, and welcome to the next installment of Far Realms, our KULT Divinity Lost Homebrew tale, where we are leading a group of lost souls beyond the veil and beyond the limits of their sanity. But real quick, before we jump into player introductions and start setting the tone, let's give a quick shout out to our wonderful sponsors. First up, we have Session Zero Clothing. They have D&D inspired streetwear. Super sick. You should absolutely go check it out. I have several sitting in a cart at the moment because I'm waiting for paychecks, but I will be using code ORDER at checkout for 15% off, by the way, just throwing that out there. Next up is Norse Foundry. They have artisan dice, all kinds of materials. I've been eyeballing the wooden dice, just saying. Christmas is coming. You can use code TIO15 at checkout for 15% off of their stock. Next up, roaming player gear, amazing tabletop gaming supplies by our very own GotDM. You can use the code Carnaby20 at checkout for 20% off their dice tower tray combo. Go give them a look-see. And of course, as always, Mithril Armory, creators of insane dice tabletop things, and of course, the foldable 1020 puzzle that kicked my ass, but maybe it won't kick yours. They also had a very successful Kickstarter with Die of Newt. You can still give that a look-see, and if you want to buy from them right now, we have a new code, Initiative, which will give you 10% off at checkout. And of course, as always, if you would like to tip myself and the players, we do split tips at Ko-fi. We have our Ko-fi set up for that, and it should be Far Realms. And of course, with that, let's meet my beautiful victims. You will notice we are short. One, Johannaxmachina, our Elenora The Seer tonight. She is sick and we want her to get better so that she can come back. I'm just going to put her in danger instead. It's great, but you can definitely go follow her at johannaxmachina on the Instagram. She's an aspiring cosplayer. But of course, let's go ahead and casually introduce some people, Jay.
Oh hey, what can I say? It's Jay Casual. You can find me on all social media at Just2Casual and Casual Creativity over on Twitch. Starting November 1st, I will be coming full steam back into my full-time content creation, making wonderful motivational stories, general storytelling, and some awesome 24-hour gaming specials where I will be trying to beat a game in 24 hours or less. That's kind of the stuff I will be trying to do because I binge games anyway. I'm also working on the anime inspired Deep Breath, the retrofuturistic urban fantasy setting inspired by JRPGs, manga, and all things like that, where you get to experience a world of conflict between the old world of magic and casters and the new world of technology and computers. Where do you stand? Inhale anticipation, take a deep breath, exhale excitement. And I will be playing Tyson Everett, the individual who has gone through hell and back in more ways than one can count, stuck in time, lost in time, or just a broken mind. I guess we'll figure it out, and hopefully, I'm not stuck in a rewind.
Um, that guy Ronan out.
None of my intro is going to rhyme, just so we're clear. Hey, I'm Ronan Fox. You can find me at Ronan Fox on all the socials. I am a writer, world builder over on Twitch. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I am world building a place called Valandrica. It's a world I intend to be as extensive as Tolkien's Middle Earth, and I run what's called the Fucking World Building Academy because everything has to be named after me. And I'm also in Ecriom Expeditions, which is every other Tuesday, and that'll be this week as well. So that's me. I'm awesome. I am one of the beautiful victims.
Mm-hmm. Also tonight we have a very special guest, April.
Am I off? Yes, okay. Hello, everyone. What? Oh, me. Yes. My name is April Hill. You can find me at stiletto_assassin on Instagram and stiletto DM on Twitter, as well as here on the Initiative Order every Monday night, where we play Vault, a Fallout inspired RPG set in the Texas Commonwealth in 2177 using the 2D20 system by Modifius. And tonight, I am playing Kicks the Bucket. So, yeah, very excited about that.
I am also very excited. I've been waiting to bring April in and hopefully get to revise this character, so I'm excited. I am Taryn Hackett, your keeper, also known as Valrook across the socials, a generally creative human, TTRPG performer, and also the creative behind Umbral Oculus Dice. That is UO_dice on the Instagram, link in bio for merchandise and my shop. All of my current in-stock sets are getting dropped price-wise lower and lower because I want them gone so that I can fill them with new sparklies. Go check out UO_dice for why, because I have lots of beautiful sparkly BBs that I want to fill that with, but I can't right now. So, with that, as always, just a quick heads up, this is a horror game. It can on occasion have extreme horror elements that are common in many horror movies, books, etc. The players and I have discussed lines and veils, and we've consented to the content that will be in these. And if for any reason you need to step away because something triggers you or it stresses you out, feel free to step away, come back when you feel like it. That's your call. But with that, the veil shudders. What have you lost souls found here? What will you do to survive? What terrors now turn their gaze to you. Let us peel back the veil one more time. Righty. So, last time, waking from various illusions, the Lost saw what they felt to be the true reality of the manor around them. Decrepit walls, cracking stairs, broken windows. But as Elenora began to make her way through the home, alone, she did see corpses strewn through the trees outside at various stages of decay. Eventually stumbling into Jack's sleeping body in the dining room. Of course, waking him up, the two began sneaking their way through the house, attempting to hide from the entity seemingly stomping through the home on the hunt for them, now awake. At the same time, Tyson was wandering aimlessly through a home looking for everyone. Eventually, the two, Jack and Elenora, find a hatch in the pantry that leads down into what looks like the cellar. They do see a dim light coming through. Elenora does call for Tyson. Tyson does hear this, but can't seem to pinpoint the location of where he's hearing the voice. With that, Elenora insists that they go down into the cellar because there is a dim light. She can smell incense. She is certain that Tyson's got to be down there. Jack lets her go on her way down the cellar and then closes the door, stay safe. As the entity continues to hunt through the house, Jack goes into what was the viewing room, the red room, where previously the casket had been on display for the viewing for the funeral. At the head of this very decrepit, now broken down room was a casket, as there should have been. Of course, very, very decayed looking, decrepit. Jack approached, hearing rustling and sounds coming from the inside that sounded like Tyson's voice. Opening it up, sure enough, Tyson was speaking in his sleep. Jack wakes Tyson up, only for Tyson to panic, realizing he is laying in a decaying casket, and rolling over the casket, knocking into Jack's shin, not really hurting anybody. Again, hurting Tyson some more because furniture is just not Tyson's friend. Meanwhile, Elenora continues her way through the cellar, finding an odd sort of altar with a human tongue, fresh blood, and circles and runes. Ultimately, the phrase "the judge has arrived" appears to her in all of this strange writing. She decides that she will disturb this altar in hopes that maybe it will weaken the connection of this entity to this place. As she disturbs one of the lines, the candle goes out and she hears deep breathing behind her. In the meantime, Tyson and Jack are making their merry way through the house like a couple of cartoon characters, trying to avoid the entity, eventually making their way to the stable, but finding themselves trapped after walking through encroaching fog and seeing what they thought to be Mimi's newly dead corpse hanging over the crying angel of the fountain. They make it to the stable safely, only to find that if they run out one door, they come back in the other, as the fog will not let them leave. As they eventually manage to actually get through the fog by just some happenstance, it seems as though something is toying with them. They do find the cellar door, and again, Tyson is making his way into the cellar because they can hear Elenora struggle. Jack drops his new signature line, "Stay safe," and closes the door behind Tyson as Tyson is now rushing to Eleonora's aid. Jack, in the meantime, goes and investigates the decaying corpse of Mimi to see how long dead is she, kind of figuring out that it's not quite as old as several of the ones hanging from the trees. In the meantime, Tyson, booking it through the cellar, arrives to find Elenora being picked up by her throat by this shadowy entity and begins trying to combat it, notably avoiding harming him and avoiding direct contact as much as possible. Jack eventually joins the fray, being followed by someone but paying no heed as he hears his friends struggling. They do finally manage to somewhat stave off the entity enough to save Elenora from a very dark fate, only to be attacked by some cloaked figure. Jack is hit abruptly in the kidney with an elbow. They do end up knocking this individual unconscious, discovering that it is the butler. And his tongue is noticeably gone. He's also wearing very distinctly cultist robes. Rather than worrying too much about this, however, they leave him sleeping in the basement and head upstairs, where things begin to return to normal briefly. Eleonora's pain in her leg returns as it was shattered. They discover the ghost of the little girl, who leads them in attempts to help the group back to the Widow's Walk, essentially insinuating that this is where it began. The group back up in the Widow's Walk. Reality continues to flicker back and forth. Elenora decides to peer into Tyson's mind and see what exactly has been haunting Tyson, only to discover that it is a dark entity that has the ability to completely stop anyone from peering into Tyson's mind. Terrified at this, Elenora runs away from Tyson, explains what she saw, a gruesome scene with Tyson staring into a corner, bloodied and dark entity tearing people apart. Tyson reverts into a state of panic, just as reality switches again and red and blue lights are coming up the hill. Jack checks his pocket. There's a phone. What is a phone? Tyson, seeing this hint of technology, comes to, pulls out his modernized camera, and a smartphone and begins explaining what this technology is to people who have never seen it. About that time, modernized cars, cop cars, come rolling up over the hill, and the police begin making their way out across an asphalt paved road to the home that is very dilapidated. So, in this moment, Elenora, witnessing all of this change immediately in front of her, already being terrified of what she saw in Tyson's mind, begins to back to the door, just as Jack, of course, had been calling out this entity that fled from the lights. She begins to back away from Tyson, looking out the window, looking at the phones, and as she backs closer to the door, 5 shadowy hands reach out from behind her, grab her, and yank her into the hallway, which becomes pitch black. No light, as it would seem that the moon becomes darkened.
I want to run after her. I'm going to
As
take off
you
after
run
her.
after her, the door slams in your face.
Goddamn doors.
Mm-hmm.
Hate this place.
Tyson's going to try.
Kai, you are seeing this, just so you know.
Ty's going to try to go to the door and this time try and open it the correct direction.
As you pull the door open,
Yeah.
the home is normal. You can smell food coming from downstairs, the clinking of plates. The room you're in is dilapidated.
But this hallway and all that is like
Normal.
upkept. Do I still see like the lights from the window?
Lights, yeah.
Of the red and blues?
As you look out that window, yes. So where you're at is like very dark and cloudy. It's nighttime. As you look down the hallway, it's sunny. Like there's literally sunbeams pouring in through one of the windows.
Tyson's gonna head back to the window and try and open it.
It rattles a little bit and it kind of creaks and it's a little rusty. As you look down, there is a person sitting on the ledge wearing... Kai, would you like to describe what Tyson sees? Muted. Before you go. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, sure. Yes. So looking outside, you see what looks to be a female with long red hair that fades into purple, wearing a tattered striped sweater dress with ripped black leggings and black boots. And she has a mask on her face with feathers and a beak, almost like an owl mask. She's looking at you like she knew that you were there.
Do I recognize this person in any capacity?
Not at all. You're just kind of like, there's a person on the ledge. They appear to be human and not an entity. Just, you will notice that the clothing is fairly modern.
Modern in my terms.
Yes.
And to confirm, I don't get that same look as those faceless people.
No. This is not a faceless person. Yeah.
So this is an important character, so to speak, in Tyson's mind.
Yeah. This is not an NPC.
What is within arm's reach?
I mean, where you're at, there's like a pillow, like a really old, shabby
Shocking
pillow. A shabby, once was probably green velvet, now is kind of like brown and like one of those ones like you touch it and it's crumbly. That pillow just, go ahead and just roll to avoid harm real quick. So that's your 2d10. Just roll it real fast to see if it hits you. It's not going to hurt you, but I need to see if you get hit in the face with a pillow.
Yes, perfect. So I'm throwing the pillow at Owl Lady.
Actually, that'll be a contested, so please roll for engage in combat.
It's
Let's do this.
You just tell me I'm rolling for pillow fight?
Yes.
That's not great. Oh wait, engage in combat? Damn, that's a 9.
Kai.
Were you throwing the pillow at me?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
then put
gosh.
I-
Okay. So so I just roll a d10.
2d10. 2d10.
The two of them. Add them.
Yes. Yeah, you'll roll the 2d10, add them together, and then as that is avoiding harm, you get to roll with your reflexes.
Okay. Reflexes +0. So that's a 10.
A 10. You just narrowly, like, you can tell he's like startled, and like the pillow does that thing where it like kind of shifts out of your hand just enough, and it like kind of flies just wide where it like grazes, and like there's a little bit of like the gunk that gets in your eye like dust, but you avoid this pillow.
A pillow? Really? Was that necessary?
Jack.
What?
Jack.
What are you doing?
You
What are
see
you
him chuck a
doing?
pillow out the window.
Look. As like Ty is like still with the kind of leans back and is trying to like give Jack the space to make sure that Ty's not the only one seeing, and is like pointing at the person.
It's so weird. What? Oh. Hello.
Hello.
What you doing?
Watching.
Okay, Tyson, this doesn't even crack my top 5 weirdest things that's happened. But
I mean, that's fair, but
As you're looking out the window and the cars are pulled up, the people walking out of the cars appear to be moving in slow motion.
see, that is weird.
okay. Shoot it.
Shoot it. Shoot the woman.
No.
Hello. No,
Why
I'm
would
not
you
gonna.
shoot me?
Oh, look. We go down that hallway, we go back to whatever this house is. Out this
Yeah, I know,
window
I saw
doesn't
that.
seem to make sense either. So, and Elenora looks back at the hallway. Somewhere.
Well,
There's more of
If-
you.
Is that a question or a statement?
sorry. There was one. She just got taken.
Shame.
Yeah. Is there? Is there? I don't know if I need to roll. Can I see a not death way down from the window?
There is a trellis that has, I mean, it's aged, but there is a trellis leading down from the 3rd floor.
All right. If I look down from the window,
Yes.
the exterior of the building, is
Super
it dilapidated?
Oh
Nah,
yeah, it's
nah.
bad. You're like, honestly, the only reason like Kai managed to make it up is because she's probably a little more daintily built. Someone that's
Sure.
a little more aged and stocky might have a bit of a hard time.
Rocking a solid dad bod. Okay. I don't understand what you're doing here now. How long have you been here? Here, do you want to come inside?
You would have been there. You would have been. This is the second time you've seen them come to this room. Waiting for the moment.
I've been here for a time. Sure, why not? Just help me up.
Before,
Sure.
No,
Go.
wait.
Okay.
You've been there some time, just lingering.
I told you I was watching you.
We've been
Watching
watched
it.
by a lot of things.
Why?
Why not?
Okay.
Do you know Hanson?
I know a lot of people.
I learned
Do
if
you-
you speak in circles, that means you are around something bad.
Oh, one quick thing, Kai. Do me a favor. Roll 2d10.
Okay. 5 and 8.
Okay. Okay. Noted.
Okay. What's your name?
Kicks.
Kicks. If you are looking at the exterior of this building, what do you see?
I see. Building.
And what's its current condition?
I mean, it's super. It's yeah, it's dilapidated, broken, falling apart. It's.
It looks like no one's lived here in quite a long time.
Okay. Do I still have my cell phone?
Yep.
I take it out. Do you know what this is?
It's a phone.
Of course, it's a telephone, a cell
Okay.
But
phone.
you know what that is? So,
Yes.
so like, you know about smartphones and stuff, right?
Are you okay?
No, not at all. But come in. No, yes, come.
Smartphone, yes.
Hoist kicks into the Widow's Walk. You do see, as you enter in, shelves with very old books, a lot of them dated. You see, again, what would have been some kind of summoning circle, or it looks to be on the floor.
And what are you doing in here?
We were trying to end whatever this is.
Whatever what is.
I'm gonna go over to the door and open it up
Mm-hmm.
to the sunshiny hallway.
As you open the door, a pale, pock-marked, long face with a twisted smile is inches from your nose, and
Whatever
just
this guy.
licks up the side your face before vanishing into pitch black, and the door slams again.
That asshole.
No. Okay. Not okay. I thought it was over. Okay. Do I still see the cars out there?
Yep, people are still pouring out of them in slow motion.
I don't.
And with those cars, there is another one coming up over the hill that appears to be a long black limousine moving very slowly. Obviously.
Now, you say like an actual limousine, or did you just try to convince me that a hearse is coming? That it's
No, it looks
not
like
a hearse.
It looks like a limousine. A limousine is coming up over the hill.
Okay.
It's a dead person limousine.
Yeah, right. Ty goes over to the door and like gets into a half preparation to sprint.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confirming the door got reclosed.
Mm-hmm.
I slammed it.
Pulls the door open.
Happy sunny hallway.
That doesn't help because Ty was just already, as soon as the door opens, tries to sprint and will fail to tackle nothing.
Yeah, you fall into a very happy sunny hallway.
Fucking doors, fucking ghosts. I'm leaving. There's help outside. We just have to get to the front door, right?
Maybe. I don't know if we're going to be exiting the same house if we go through this hallway.
Well, you don't have a
You-
choice. I can't climb out
Yeah.
that window. That's
I can't either.
more than 3 stories, and
Kicks, are you? What? I don't. I'm a.
I mean, you could always fall out the window.
Sure. Call that a
Not that
plan
bad.
B.
plan B,
It's
we
not
run
that
out the
far
window.
down.
Plan A is front door.
Front door. Are you coming with us, or?
With all of this, the hallway flickers as you're laying on the ground, Tyson, to a dilapidated state, and you hear Elenora scream.
We roll for emotional stability. That sounds about right. I run towards the screams.
Yep. Tyson, clamoring, begins like almost scratching his way up, makes it to his feet, and begins booking it down the hallway. Jack and
The
Kix.
other direction,
Like down the hallway.
but like not towards the front door is what I mean.
Well, I mean, it's the third floor, so it's down the hallway.
Oh,
to the
right.
stairs.
Okay. Gotcha.
So,
You're more than welcome to buy, and I just take off too.
I will casually follow slowly.
okay.
Not worried, not anxious, just
Making your way
casually
downtown. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Tyson, you make it to the stairs, and as you hit the stairwell and begin to make your way down towards the sound of the scream, you look, and Elenora is bound, chains around her neck, entire body stretched over what would be the foyer, like suspended in air. As chains continue to wrap almost like by themselves up over to her eye line. And she is still screaming, but she is suspended there.
And it's wrapping kind of like a cocoon style around.
Yes. And she's definitely struggling midair.
Now, like suspended, like how high?
Like this is, so if it's like, so the way the foyer works, so the front of the house is this column that goes all the way up.
Yeah.
So you can see from the third floor all the way down, and it's beautiful windows and all of the tapestry, right? Well, she is about on the second floor, suspended midair. These chains come out from random points in the walls, and just have her suspended there.
And how far from the edge banister?
That's a good 20-30 feet.
Okay, I can't jump that.
No, you can't jump it. You can, looking, you know that there is no way for you to physically make it over to her.
Oh, I'm still neurotic. Let's roll just. All right,
Jack,
mine.
catch it. You're running up just as like Tyson is processing all of these things, and you look up and see the same thing. Tyson.
Tyson will clamber down to the first floor to get a better view of this from like below to see if there's, I don't know, something I'm missing.
There is a chain connected from Elenora to the wall where nearby where you are, and that's going to take you a minute to get there. Jack, you see Tyson begin frantically running down the spiral staircase to make it to the first floor. Kix, you walk up and you see this scene unfolding.
And I don't recognize what's holding her there, or know kind of what's going on.
This looks like you've seen this technique employed before, often to lure. And Jack, what are you're seeing Tyson taking off? What are you, so you two, what are you doing in this moment? This is a familiar situation to you, Kix.
You seem unbothered by this.
I wouldn't say that.
Do you know how to get her down? Would you know how to get her down? Are you part of the house? You perplex me greatly.
She's your friend. You should be the ones to help her down.
Sure. You said 30 feet?
Like, it's out there. Like, I mean, it seems like it's just an attempt to lure you into one place. Like,
Sure.
You're fairly versed in all of the things. This is a technique. You're watching Tyson just step running down these stairs. And as you finish this brief conversation, Tyson, you're hitting the ground, noticing the chain.
Watch your steps.
You do
Oh.
hear this, Tyson. What do you do when you see this?
So I'm at the chain,
Yes.
and it's currently following the
Connected.
chain. So it seems like this chain, in theory, is what's holding.
It's one of the many. Like, there are just chains from many different directions. This is just the only one attached to this low of a level within reach.
Can I determine which part of this chain is attached to Elenora? Like,
This part seems to go directly to her feet.
doesn't seem to help me very much. So,
Do you
I'm
touch
gonna-
the chain?
oh God, no! I go to the front door.
Okay. What are you doing at the front door?
I'm hopefully opening it the correct direction.
You open the door, and as you open the door, the chains tighten around
Close.
Elenora, and you can hear them loosening again. And as you can hear Elenora take a deep breath and gasp for air, as you can hear her openly sobbing. So, everybody.
Real quick, so if I can kind of pick up on the idea that I think this is a trap,
Mm-hmm.
what I want to do is I want to try to peel my eyes away from that scene and then try to check to see where I think where the ambush would spring from, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. So as you are peering out over the edge, you happen to go ahead and observe a situation for me. Unless unless you want to trigger one of your special abilities, I think this would be the best way to.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Not for this. $15?
15. Okay. So with that, you, yeah, you get to ask me some questions. You get two. So
Okay.
make them count.
Sure.
Questions are important.
They are. Where would, judging by the scene that I see, where would I think the most obvious place for, I'm going to say a natural ambush, because I don't really think in different terms than that.
Okay. A natural ambush you feel like would come from just down the hall. There is a closet door that is creaked open.
Shit. Okay. Second question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God. I don't know.
I will say, as you are with that roll, you are so you look and you can see that door is creaked open. It's suspiciously dark, but out of your peripheral, you see a dark finger creep up over the ledge by your foot.
Oh.
So, with that, I will need you to roll avoid harm, but I will give you advantage so you can roll 3d10 and keep the two highest because you did see this hand as another hand shunts up over the edge and attempts to grab your leg.
Uh, 13. Although, can I ask a question? Can I opt to, instead of avoid the harm, do what I did last time, which is just endure the injury?
You could.
Okay.
So you see it happening, you let it happen, and you just roll with it, or do you try to pull your leg back?
Visually, what I would say is, if I see it happening, I will instinctively, even though I don't really understand the person beside me, I'm going to step in front of them to take it.
Okay. Well, with that, the avoid harm still works. Basically what happens is this hand comes up to grab you, and it ends up just slashing at your leg. It's just a surface scratch. It doesn't actually cause real physical harm to you. But you now see a smiling face. Kix, you look down and you see this face. And while it is familiar, it's not identical. However, you can see a very similar look in the eyes. And looking into this creature's eyes, I will need you to roll 2d10 to see if this triggers one of your disadvantages.
9 and 3.
So 12 total. Yeah, with that, you can't seem to focus on anything else. You see that look in its eyes and you become enraged. You have a -1 just to all of your rolls ongoing until that thing is no longer in the scene. As you're
Can
peering
I pull
down
out my gun
at
and
this,
try to shoot it?
yep.
That's what I was gonna do.
You know, I will allow both of you go for it. Go ahead and roll your beautiful bean footage. So that's 2d10. Yeah, that's engaging in, yeah.
Another 15.
15. Okay.
Got 4.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, with that, yeah. Okay, so with that, basically, Jack, you fire dead on, and you can see there is, because of the high level of roll there, that almost stony looking face bursts open and black ooze begins to pour out as it lets out this screech. Kix, you fire and it misses. It goes wide as the screech let loose from the entity startles you. The bullet goes wide and shoots just past Tyson's face. And with that, a shadowy hand comes up, and I need you to either, if you see this shadowy hand come up, Kix, are you enduring or trying to avoid this attack?
I don't, would I notice it because I am so focused and angry and just looking at the face?
Then roll to endure injury. So this is 2d10 plus your fortitude.
Okay. -1 though, right?
Yes.
Okay. So fortitude is a +1. So, oh gosh, 9, 10, -1, 9.
9.
Mm-hmm.
As this happens, the legs are swiped out from under you. You fall back and hit your head, and you do take, with that, we're going to go ahead and hand you 1 harm. It is a stabilized injury, but you do have 1 harm as it definitely conks you unconscious and you're kind of stunned in that moment. And the entity retreats almost through the wall. And as it retreats through the wall, Elenora is pulled upward through physically as the ceiling is burst above her, pulled through the ceiling.
I opens the door.
Door opens. Beautiful sunny day outside.
Sunny day?
Mm-hmm.
Is it windy?
Yes. It is about midday, suddenly.
Is it so windy that I know that I wouldn't be able to ride my bike down the path?
Yeah. It is the traditional super windy, awful.
Tyson will close the door
Okay.
and is going to just full run back to the room across the Widow's Walk. That is Tyson's goal now. Tyson has one goal.
So, Tyson, you begin running up the stairs. Jack and Kix, what are you doing? Kix is laying there, kind of trying to nurse a new head wound.
I'll give a quick look, make sure she's not dead. Cool. I am running to the closet and I'm going to throw it open in case the thing is hiding in there or whatever.
Throw the door open. It's a closet. There is a string dangling from the top part, though.
Like a
Where
light.
did he?
Like, well, you look, as you sling it open, you just see it. Like a string with like a loop at the end of it. Like a metal ring.
Like an attic duck cross.
Like an attic. Yeah, okay, so if I saw her do that, then I'll try to pull that down if I know that that's an attic.
Cool. And it opens down into a kind of shoddy little stairway. Tyson, you see, as you make it to the head of the stairs, you see this coming down.
All right, I am still very unstable right now. Those stairs look very climbable.
They are very climbable. This is true.
Perfect, because if Jack does not immediately climb, Ty does.
Okay.
I'm going right up, yeah, for sure.
So, okay, you guys are like half Kicks. You see them clambering up the stairs almost together. You know what they're about to get into. Do you interrupt them or let them go into it?
I am going to look around and then I will follow, but I will let them go up and I will just kind of be like on the ladder. Just
Okay.
kind of chilling, looking to see what they do.
Okay.
We stay safe. That's what we do.
Sure. So you guys book it up this stairwell into what is like a triangle shaped attic. There is loose insulation. Of course, this is very dated insulation, so it's very gray, powdery, woolly. It's a fire hazard, and if it's in your home, you should have it removed. And so it's just like you see the boards. And on some of these boards, there are 2x4s placed with boxes. So like there are places made for storage, but most of it seems like general insulation. And this runs just the length of the entire house. It is huge. It appears to be somewhat of a walkway, as there's like a rope strewn from a couple of supports throughout through the thing. Okay. And then it is very dark up here. There is a small window at the very far end of one side and a small window at the very far end of the other side of the home. It provides just enough to see that there's a light, but not to actually provide lighting in the room, just enough to begin to make out vague details.
Can I see the hole that she went through?
Where you're currently at, no. Because what you can tell is there's somewhat of a T shape. And like, so if this is the T shape, you guys are like right here, just out of eye shot.
But like visually, like mentally, I can kind of work it out.
Yeah, you would go, okay, it's got to be like over here.
Okay.
As I reach for my camera, is it my camera or is it this house's camera?
It is your camera.
So I have my night vision access.
Yes, you do have your night vision access.
So I'll pull it up to get better detailing with this green, not too clear, but clear enough to
Yep.
make my
Careful
way through.
Where you step, you could fall through the ceiling, and that's a long ways down.
You are literally of no help right now.
Do you know where the soft spots are?
Where the boards go down.
Okay, all right. She got hit in the head, it's fine.
Now, Kix, looking around, and with your time with this group thus far, go ahead, do me a favor, roll read a person. So this is 2d10 plus your intuition with advantage. So you will roll 3d10 and keep your 2 highest.
Okay. And it was intuition?
Yes.
Oh, cool. 13.
A 13? Okay. You do, in that situation, you can either choose to ask me a question about them, or I can tell you a key detail about them. That you would pick.
About
Both of
Jack
Jack
and
and Tyson. Mm-hmm. I will let this be your choice. You may ask, or I may tell.
I'll let you just tell me something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Their level of stress and fear is very high, and they're draining far faster than they realize. As you look at them, you can see it in their eyes.
Mm.
And you take that they probably don't know exactly what's going on.
You know, we should probably go back downstairs. You're not going to find her up here. You know that, right?
I
Do
don't.
you know where we would find her?
I do know it's not going to be up here in the obvious place.
She has a point, actually. Nothing's been in the obvious place so far.
That's so helpful then. So let's check
Well-
the unobvious place, which is the entirety of this fucking house.
No, I don't disagree with that either, but what? Hold on. Is there another reason why you don't think we should go, other than the fact that we'll fall through boards potentially?
This thing likes to play mind games. And I just think it's better if we go back downstairs.
And what? Continue playing with the other mind games of make believe and play pretend?
Well,
Is it-
it'd be safer down there. We'd have better advantage than flooring that might give out at any second if it were to show up here.
Do you know how to get rid of this thing?
Would I mean,
You know that there are a couple of ways. I will message you something.
this isn't the first time I've encountered something like this. I may know a few ways.
We've been wandering around, getting thrown between realities and walls, and you've just been watching when you may have had a solution the whole time.
Well, you can't always trust people. Sometimes you have to watch them to see what kind of person they are and see if they're worth letting them know that you're around, watching them. And it was time.
How can we trust you?
You can't.
That's obvious.
Fuck it.
But
As
at least
time
honest
makes
about it.
their way back down.
I can't see shit without him, so I'm going to go back down too, I guess.
As you go back downstairs, it's the dilapidated home.
Dilapidated front
Yeah.
door.
Go to the front door. You're running down the stairs. It's going to take you a second. Jack kicks. Do you make your way down as well? Or do you
Yes.
stay up? Okay.
I'm kind of looking around. Is there anything in particular that stands out to me as
You do see, like,
not belonging?
at the center of the T, because you're looking very specifically, and you go ahead. Let's do a investigate roll. So that's your 2d20, or your 2d10 plus your reason.
Yeah. D20, that's tomorrow's.
Yeah, technically.
That's going to be -1 still.
Not anymore.
Okay, that's
The
a
entity
13.
is a 13. Okay. With that, like, because you're specifically looking for anything that sticks out, there is at the center of what the T shape would be, there is a stone, a black stone sitting there on one of the boards.
How big?
About the size of a fist. Just tediously placed to balance on one of these 2x4s.
Do I think that if I shot the board out from under it, it would fall through? Does it look heavy enough that it would I could make it fall through the ceiling?
You could probably fairly easily knock this stone off. There's a good inch of this stone hanging off either side of this 2x4. It wouldn't take a whole lot.
And Tyson left. Yeah. Is Jack still up here?
I'm like at this point probably be headed down, so like on the steps.
Oh, that'd be funny. Okay, good. Is there anything I probably won't shoot it, but is there anything I can throw at it to knock it off?
Oh yeah, there's like bunches of books and boxes and just garbage.
I pick up one of the books.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a title that I've read or is it just junk?
Is
it an animal sciences book?
No, this one specifically is chemistry. It's like IPC, and it's very old and dated with filigree, and start having flashbacks to chemistry and physics and kind of gag a little bit.
And I'm going to chunk it. Chuck it.
Chunk it.
Yeah.
Okay. You chunk this book, and I mean, you're decent enough. I'm not going to make you throw this book, and it knocks the stone, and it hits the insulation and sinks through, and you can hear there's cracking. Basically this insulation is very thin at this point, and you can hear that like the drywall, quote unquote, because it's not drywall at that point, is so dated that it's slowly creeping through. You can hear it. Tyson, you hear the book hit, and you can hear like there's some flaking above you a little bit. Like at the center, all of a sudden the ceiling is like flaking and crumbling a little bit.
Door.
Okay. So Jack, you hear the thud. Tyson's making his way to the door. You hit the door.
I open it the correct way.
You open the door the correct way. Sunny, happy outside.
Slam the door shut. Fuck!
There's laughing rolling through the hallways in the house.
You think this is funny? This is a game. I will find you. And I will kill you, I promise.
There's a whisper right behind your ear. Tick-tock. And you hear Elenora scream. But as before, it's in your head and you cannot pinpoint the direction. Jack and Kix, you do not hear this scream.
My sanity is pretty low, so what we're gonna do, it seems like it's a new day, because last was the will reading was supposed to be happening, which is supposed to happen in the red room.
Yep.
Tyson is going to, not like in a sprint like Norm has been doing, but it's going to have like an angry march towards the red room.
Okay. You begin to march towards the red room. Jack and Kix, you see Tyson hit the door, slam it. You see him talk to something that you do not see, and you see him start to march towards what you would assume is the red room, the viewing room. What do you do?
Silas, your friend's not doing too well. You might need to check on him.
Yeah, he's... What? What did you call me?
What? I said that you needed to go check on your friend. They don't seem to be doing too well.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna shit. I'm gonna go run and check on my friend.
Okay.
Ronan is turned off. Sorry.
And Taryn is so happy. You begin to run down these stairs. Kix, are you following or are you casually following as you have been?
Oh yeah, like it's the whole. I mean, I know we don't like Pepe Le Pew anymore, but the whole just slow. Yep.
All right, sauntering your way.
Mhm.
You're fairly confident in your steps.
Watching the ceiling collapse.
Yeah, as it collapses, that's when the stone hits the ground behind you. There's some
Not close
strange
enough to hear
markings
it.
on it. You hear a thud above you. It's just up to you whether or not you stop. You do hear that thud. Kix, there are runes inscribed on this stone.
And it looks familiar.
Familiar, and the runes look familiar. The object was different.
Do I know how to destroy something like this? Or do I know like not to touch it? Or do I know any kind of information?
You don't specifically, you just know that it varies, but you know that it's not as simple as brute force typically. But you know that if you touch this, you might pull attention from things that are currently the focus. But you have an inclination that this might be what you're looking for.
Have I seen any critters in this house?
You caught some spiders and other things. There's definitely, yeah, I was about to say definitely, like, if you were looking around, there's like a rat here and there skittering about.
Can I convince one of the rats to come over and touch it?
Sure. About that time, there is a rat that like kind of peeks around one of the like railings, having been startled by this stone. Go ahead and roll your 2d20 plus your intuition.
So Kix
Oh,
is
that's
officially a
good.
dark Disney princess confirmed.
Yes, I was like, plus intuition.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, damn, that's a dirty 20.
That is a dirty 20.
Because
Yeah.
I got a +3. It's
So
a +3. I got a 10 and a 7. So.
you can tell. So you can tell that this little rat buddy is terrified of this stone. But as you kind of click at it a little bit, it turns, goes against its instincts and begins walking up to this stone and kind of crawls up on it and is like pawing at it a little bit. And nothing seems to happen to it. That's the rat talking. It's also my cat. And as it kind of scratches at one of the runes, suddenly a burst of black shadow creeps up and disintegrates the little buddy. Just
Poor thing. Well, thanks for the information. What do I hear? What everyone else is doing, or what they're doing, like where they're at?
yeah. So I mean, with that, you see this, Jack. Did you stop when there was the thudding?
Nope.
You kept going?
I just kept running. Yep.
Okay. So you are experimenting with this stone. Jack and Tyson. Tyson, you make your charge. You enter the red room, normal room. Everybody is taking their seats. At the head of the room, of course, is Frederick, the butler, standing next to a tall, shadowy, ashy-skinned person, solid black suit, bowler hat, very distinct cane, smiling as you enter the room. You can see Scarlett and Edmund taking their seat. You see all of the faceless people taking their seats. Mimi taking her seat. Viv, fine, taking her seat. Gingham, of course, nowhere to be seen. And you can see that who you assume then is very likely Patrick Clever, the lawyer to Hansen, motions as there are 2 empty seats at the front of the room.
2.
As Jack comes up behind you.
As soon as I come in, though, I'm like, oh, come on.
If I remember, Frederick was with Butler. The only person
that was the one that was tongueless in the basement.
The only person who's missing is the assistant, right?
Yes, that was the one that y'all never ever went and checked on after there was a thud, and they were definitely brutally murdered at the end of the first episode. Yes. They are dead and decaying in their
water
room.
under the bridge, okay? Just
it's
just throwing that out there. You're all horrible people. Yes.
We're horrible. I can't leave a fucking door without anyone.
Okay. Does he have any markings of our glorious battle that we had? Like, does he have a black eye, a swollen jaw?
Yes.
He does.
His lip is busted. But he is glaring.
Frederick. How are you?
Doing just fine.
Oh, he fucking talks. He needs to talk.
Yeah.
Can we get on with this process? I want to go home.
Frederick smiles. Yeah. Home.
Fuck you.
And he turns and pulls up a stack of papers, hands them to the lawyer. Now, we are all gathered here, obviously, under certain circumstances. You are all a bunch of money-grubbing, greedy, well, you know what. But don't worry. You'll all get your just rewards. As Clever turns his back and turns to look at all of you. Now, we are notably short one individual. Where is Miss Elenora? Frederick smiles.
Surprised. As looking specifically at Frederick. The butler tends to the house, no? That seems like something Frederick should know.
Just pulled through the fucking ceiling.
Now, such words there, Mr. Graves.
Doesn't change the fact.
Needless to say, we'll have to move on without her. I don't know what she's decided to get caught up in. But she'll have to catch up later. It's really quite simple. Miss Scarlett here. You get nothing. Edmund, see to your mama. Edmund stands up, takes, which Scarlett begins like tussling. Edmund stands up, grabs his mother and begins to walk away with her hand on the back of her neck and a gun to her back, walking out of the room.
Wait, Edmund's doing that?
Yes.
Do they walk by? Because
They're on like the other side of so like there's the two sides. They're on the other side of the room walking over there. Edmund is like watching you. Watch.
No, you should stay for the rest of it.
Now, Mr. Everett, this is the rest of it. Don't worry. You'll be fine. Kix, you look around the corner. You see this tall, dark gentleman at the front. That's the one you were worried about. You now instinctively know they're in grave danger. That is not the one you're hunting. And you know you've got to snap them out of this.
I am going to put my gun point blank to the stone and try to shoot it.
Okay.
Magic meet bullet.
So with that, go ahead. Just roll me. Yeah, roll me 2d10.
10 and a 6.
Very nice. So you managed to do this. You're smart enough. You're a smart person. You angle it so that the ricochet, if it ricochets, will bounce up and away from you. You hit this stone, and it definitely takes a chunk out. And a chunk does go flying, and it whizzes and scratches your face. But as you do that, everything flickers around you, Tyson and Jack, and you hear a scream. As at the front of this room now, standing in front of a decaying, collapsed on the floor casket, is the entity. And it just bolts for you, Kix.
I put my gun, I aim my gun again close to the stone. You should stop right there unless you want me to do that again.
It just stops, and it's like suspended midair. It's this billowing cloud of black ichor and smoke and this strange stone-like face that does have a noticeable just burst out of it that is still oozing ichor.
Now, if you don't want me to shoot this thing again and hurt you further, you should tell me where I can find another very much like you. I think you know who I'm talking about, or what I'm talking about.
And then it lunges at you, attempting to grab the stone. Go ahead and roll your 2d10 plus reflexes to try to pull this stone out of the way. Your rolls are stupidly high.
No, they've been really, really bad. And then I had 2 really good ones, and now it's bad again. Reflexes.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 5 and a 3, so 8 plus 0.
Yeah. That stone flies from your hand, and it bolts just down the hallway. You don't exactly see what direction, and knocks you back on your butt. Okay. Jack and Tyson, you are sitting on the floor now that everything has kind of come to, and you turn around and you see this. What you doing? What you doing, guys? Bolting? Yeah, it's almost gone in a flash. You just see Kix standing there. You heard this conversation.
Okay, it's time for a little Q&A.
Tyson's going to kid a little closer. You know more, a lot more than you let on.
You actually may be our only chance to get out of here. It's been the biggest bit of hope we've had so far.
thing is, it's what's doing this to you. It's keeping you here. There's more like it, in fact. And I thought it was the one I was looking for, but unfortunately, it's not.
So you had our way out, and instead you use it as a bargaining chip for something you wanted.
I was going to kill it after it told me what I wanted to know.
Yeah, and tell
How'd
me
that
again
work
how
out?
that went.
I injured it. I took a chunk out. It's more than I can say what you two have done, running all over this place in
While you watched with
odd
the
directions.
answers.
Well,
So what do we do now?
I want to make one thing clear. If I find out Eleanor's hurt or we can't escape, I will make sure whatever's expected to happen to me, I will make sure is tenfold on you.
I wouldn't be so sure. You know that thing that's here, it's keeping you here? It's weak. It's one of the weaker, one of the lesser ones. For some reason, there's one that's more powerful that wants something to do with one of you, and I don't expect to stick around that long to find out what or why. But I'll help you get this one.
How long have you been watching us? Exactly.
Well, time is relative.
Yeah.
Weird thing.
And what do you think my name is?
Well, you told me what your name was.
And what did I say?
It escapes me. What was it again?
Jack.
That's right, Jack. That's what you told me.
So how do we find the thing now?
Well, that stone is its, lack of a better explanation, its source of power, we can either destroy it or try to destroy the thing. Both are not very easy tasks.
This is probably why they got rid of Eleanor, because she would be able to destroy that stone pretty easily, I would imagine.
See the things. Tyson looks over at the lantern. These are like candle lanterns or oil lanterns?
These are oil.
Tyson is going to. Does it seem like it could be just pulled out of the fixture? Like
Yeah, I mean, like they're really old. Like, even if they probably weren't made to come out this easy, but it seems like the locking mechanisms that hold them in place are very worn at this point. And you literally touch it, and you hear something break. It just kind of like it takes like part of the arm with it at this phase, but it comes off.
And the building looks dilapidated right now.
Oh yeah. It's raining outside again.
Before we try what I know you're going to do, just keep in mind they've already changed the structure multiple times on us. I don't know if burning this one's going to help.
Well,
Tyson, with that, as you like are pulling, you feel the wounds that you've had previously. They're not there. Your shoulder is fine. All of the physical scuffs you're feeling, there's not a bruise on you.
because I wasn't injured in reality. Yeah.
Jack, same thing. Anything that was present, scrapes from all of the scuffle, none of it's there.
Holding the lantern. When Edmund and Scarlett walked out, that doorway led towards the kitchen, right?
It leads back into like kind of the in-between room between the office and the viewing room, and then the foyer and the dining in the kitchen.
Got it. So they were heading towards the
foyer, essentially, like that direction. You're not sure. They could have gone to the foyer, they could have gone to the office, they could have gone out in the patio.
God, it was a multi-directional area.
It's like the heart of the house.
Holding this lantern, I'm going to go to the door.
You go to the door, like the front door?
Yep, the front door.
Okay.
And I open it the correct way.
You open it the correct way. It creaks open. It is raining outside in slow motion. You see multiple officers, guns drawn, running towards the house in super, super slow motion. Like they are just barely moving.
They're moving slow-mo, but I do see them. But like, does the rain look like it's falling in slow-mo?
Yes.
And the lights on the cars are moving at a slower rate than... No. When I'm gonna
it just
reach
started
out
raining here when you were describing that, and it freaked me out because we were not having a great workout.
It's because I've been feeding.
I was like, why is that thunder?
It's because I've been feeding and I'm more powerful than usual. So
put the veil back.
I hate it.
So Ty's gonna reach out his hand to try and feel the rain to see if there's any
drop.
More feeling it, the slow drop. Do I feel any different reaching out the doorway?
Nope.
So Tyson's gonna go back in. Is going to find. Is there any like loose piece of metal, rebar style, something that's like longer than like a foot in length?
Like a standing lamp?
Yeah, even a standing lamp. Just something. I want a metal bar that's at least a foot or longer.
You can find wooden ones.
Wood, that's fine then.
Yeah, I mean, there's chair legs, railing to the stairwell.
Okay. Ty's gonna take the time to take a chunk of wood, something that can be easily handheld, but like the length of maybe a club, like a couple, at least a foot, if not more, and we'll tear part of the shirt and tie around the end, making like almost like a makeshift torch without lighting it.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have that be bound, not just the tip, but like half the length of it. And we'll just hold that, and then we'll use some more fabric to create a better grip handle.
Okay.
Well, Kix, you know so much. How about you figure out the next step? Because we can't leave until this is figured out.
Do you think we could make it out there to them, though?
Everything out there is slow.
That's okay. I mean, do you think if I went out there to them, it would be slow?
I mean, I wasn't feeling any different. I didn't feel part of me get slower, but
I'm gonna try something. Stay safe. And I'm gonna try to go to the door, and I want to just go to I just want to take a few steps out and see. I want to take 3 steps out and then look back to see if I can see any kind of like facial expression on them, to see if what I'm sensing is different from what they're seeing, that sort of thing.
Okay. You run out that front door. You like are running into raindrops. And you stop and you're looking, and
I'll call back to them.
Yeah, so you're calling back to them. They're continuing to move in slow motion.
What about the Tyson and them?
They're at the door. As they're waving at you, Tyson starts to move slower. And you hear a beeping noise. And the sound of a steel door sliding and closing. And you can hear people frantically speaking to each other, saying code blue, go get it, go get the you hear people, go get the damn thing. What are you doing? He's unconscious. As then Tyson and Kix catch back up to normal pace, and you hear the silence of the slow pouring rain, and it all returns to normal briefly.
For us,
all of this, it's all back to normal now. Apart from they're all still moving slow, it's as it was 2 seconds prior.
All right, so I'm gonna head back inside. I don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah, so you head back inside, not really knowing what to make of what you just experienced.
I just thought that they're moving slow and I'm moving fast. They have a lot of firepower that I could use, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it from them.
Can we leave?
You hear,
do I see the change in demeanor, or is there a change in demeanor?
as you're watching Jack, the two of you, as you're watching Jack stand there, Tyson, do me a favor. Just go ahead and roll me 2d10 plus perception.
Oh, sure.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, that's 13 then.
A 13? Okay. You just barely notice. Kix, you obviously very much notice as you're sitting there watching Jack. Something catches him off guard. You look and your hand flickers away and comes back briefly. Tyson, you only momentarily see Kix almost fades for a second.
Holding my makeshift club.
And then Jack walks back.
Which now has some of the matches that I keep in my camera bag aligned along it with a spark thing at my thumb.
Mm-hmm. A spark thing.
Yep, call it a spark thing.
Spark thing.
Spark thing. Spark. Kicks.
You you probably should. What was that?
I have no idea.
Oh my god. Scared the hell out of me.
That was a weird sound.
That was.
I have no idea where that was so strange.
Sounds right. That's what the house makes noise, right?
You should probably not do that again. Do I think fire would do anything to it? Do I know any weaknesses or?
I would say you don't know of a specific weakness, I would say, apart from the object itself. You haven't, it would vary from time to time, depending on what the object is. In the situation, you're dealing with a black stone of some kind. As you guys are standing there with the door open, outside, it sounds as though it's coming from behind the house. You hear Elenora scream and the sound of snapping And it's coming from outside, and it sounds like it's coming from the other side of the house.
Of course it is. Because obviously it doesn't want us to go through the front door. Roll for being smart. Tyson runs towards the noise.
Tyson turns and runs. You fling open the back doors.
Sunshine.
It's not sunshiny at all, but the door to the mausoleum behind the house, you see it up on a hill. The stone door is knocked off its hinges on the ground, and you can hear the screaming coming from and echoing from the inside of the mausoleum. And that is where we're going to take a quick 5 to 10 minute break to let my players recuperate.
I'm so tired.
We will be back 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to take a quick break, go stretch, shake off the spookies from all those evil doors, and we will be back to continue tormenting Ronan. All right, and welcome back to Far Realms, our KULT Divinity Lost homebrew campaign, where we are tearing the sanity asunder from these poor lost souls. So last we left, all chaos has ensued. You've literally gotten to a scrap. Elenora has been captured and is seemingly being wounded or tortured. You have the inclination that you're being fed upon kicks. This mysterious figure has shown up seemingly to help, but she really just seems to have her own interests in mind. You again peering outside. The police officers are still approaching the house, but everything is moving in slow motion. They have not arrived yet. And while you're staring outside, you hear Elenora scream once again, followed by a loud snap. Tyson, you run through the house out to the back door to the patio, and you see that the door to the mausoleum is off the hinges, and you can hear the screaming echoing from that door. And that's where we're going to pick up again. Tyson, I'm assuming you take off running to the door.
First, I tuck my torch device under my shirt a bit, and then take off running.
Jack and Kix.
I'm not moving until she does.
I'm not moving.
Then we were awkwardly staring at each other.
Okay. So you were awkwardly staring at each other. Tyson, you begin running. The rain picks up pace to where it's normal, and it's pouring as you reach that mausoleum. Do you enter the mausoleum?
Oh yeah, no, we're going full sprint. Do I still hear Elenora?
Yes.
Okay, I'm following the noise then.
You run into this mausoleum. The stone door picks up off the ground and slams behind you. You are in a dark mausoleum with a little bit of light coming through these slender windows at the top. You can hear the rain pouring outside. A crash of thunder. Wind. The rain begins to sound like waves. And I need you to roll for repressed memories.
You know, I have a -2, but luckily that makes it a 17.
So you begin to hear these waves. You hear the slight echoing of screams that don't sound like Elenora. And you snap out of it. And you are standing alone in a stone mausoleum
And it's still dark in here?
Yep.
So Ty wasn't paying attention. All right, Jack.
Stay safe.
I will take my camera in one hand.
Mm-hmm.
I hate this concept now. Turn on the night vision mode.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You begin to scan. You see something move just underneath the camera.
And I'm gonna like hold my torch-like thing in my other hand and just kind of Eleanora. Hey.
Yes. And as you turn, standing from the ceiling, neck bent backwards, head twisted down, legs twisted back around, almost like a spider on the ceiling, is the figure of Elenora.
I see
And
her face.
her face on this twisted body suddenly dashes across the ceiling, down the wall, and up in front of you and stands upright in your face. Jaw drops down and open and screams at you.
I'd like to respond to this open jaw scream.
Yes.
I'd like to jam my torch in her mouth and light it.
That's okay. So you're gonna put the torch in the mouth.
Yep, I'm going
and
through and
light.
Yep, that coil that I put that has the matches
Okay.
across, because her mouth should not open.
So you
that
do
big.
this, and the mouth starts devouring the torch and starts to work its way towards your hand. Yep.
Okay.
Good.
I know I need to act fast.
The right arm pops open, and other side, these arms elongate, and the jaw drops down to the floor as it pushes backwards. The jaw is now like sharp teeth begin to form in this massively open mouth.
And there's a wall behind me or a closed door.
Yep.
Did
There's
we
no
hear the
path
scream?
left or right.
Oh yeah, hang on. Yeah.
Okay. And her mouth is big enough where I can walk.
And it's like a doorway, and it looks like it's preparing to launch itself at you. And so Jack and Kix.
I've literally never made a better adult decision in my life not to go.
So Jack and Kix, you see Tyson run up to this. Kix, you have this weird inkling and you don't follow. The door slams behind Tyson, not unusual for this home. And you begin to hear that screech. That is a familiar screech. You know that sound. It deploys that sound. It's feeding. And you again hear Eleonora's scream. It is outside. As you look over to one of the trees, Elenora is strung up with those chains to the tree, hanging upside down by her broken leg.
Is there anything around her, just the chain still?
Other dead bodies.
Cool. Kix. You go towards Elenora, I'll go towards Tyson.
That's not a good idea.
Reverse it. We gotta go. Let's go. And I'm gonna start running.
No, you don't go over there. We should go to your
What do
room.
we do? Both of us?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. And I'm gonna take off at a dead sprint towards the mausoleum.
Okay, so you both go running to the mausoleum. You can hear this screeching coming from inside. You can hear shattering stone from inside. Kix, as you're running up, you notice more runes, but you see this door in front of you both. There is a big handle on it. Are you trying to open this door?
Yeah, I'm an idiot, so I'm gonna try to open the door.
Pull the door.
Is it the same color as the stone?
Yes. So you go to start pulling on the door. Tyson, this thing is getting ready to launch at you. And it springs at you, its mouth dragging across the floor. And I need you to try to dodge it, probably.
I am not going to dodge it. I am going to use my advantage.
Okay.
The only thing that makes sense to be safe, I'm going to use bound.
Okay. So the inner power. Oh, you have bound now. I didn't add that to my notes. Yep, you have bound. Yep. Okay.
I have bound now because I have access to whatever inner power. I can actually willingly call on it a little bit.
Okay. Make it happen.
All right. So plus soul, that is 21.
Okay.
So I gain these 3 options to use at any point during the rest of the session. And I'm going to use... So I'm going to call on entity as I... You can take control if you can get me out of here, but only for a little while. Whatever it takes. And that's all I'm hopeful for. Because that's the only amount of time I have to react. Whatever it does, it does. Whatever price it takes, I pay.
Okay.
One of my options for this session.
So as this thing lunges forward at you, an inky black shadowy aura begins to emanate from you. Small tendrils you can see are whipping up off your shoulders almost in slow motion as this horrific perversion of Eleanor's face is launching at you. A large black tendril almost encompasses your face, and you see nothing but pitch black, and you hear nothing. Jack and Kix. You're pulling on the door, Jack.
Did I see where that stone went?
You didn't. You just knew that it ran off with it. Go ahead and roll your perception. So 2d10 plus your perception, and we'll see what you see here.
Oh, that's 2. 12.
12. Okay. As you're specifically looking for this stone, you do see it looks like there's a chunk out of this building where that stone seemingly has come from.
Mm-hmm.
But you notice the runes continue onto the building.
Is there a sledgehammer or any kind of anything?
I would say you roll 2d10 for me real quick. And Tyson doubles. Oh, flipping. Okay. I will say you have like a small sledge in your pack of stuff. Jack, you're pulling on this, and you're pulling, and you jerk the door open in time to see a black shadowy tendril. Like it looks like a shadow sprouting from Tyson's head. This large tendril sprouting, and it absolutely slashes through this vision of this insanely distorted Elenora in front of you. You think the only reason you think it might be Elenora is there's this tuft of like shaggy, awful black hair on top on what would have been a pale something. As this vision just dissipates, and Tyson then this melts off of Tyson, and Tyson is just standing there as Kix pulls out a small hammer from her satchel. Mm-hmm. Yep. So what you doing?
I'm gonna begin whacking away at the like all of the runes and like trying to just take them
as
all
fast
out.
as you can. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You look over and Kix is just bashing runes on this house.
Slowly
7
close the door.
dwarves.
You slowly close the door with Tyson inside.
Yeah.
Okay, Tyson, you hear? Do you see light? And as you turn, the door is closing again.
Like, no, don't close it, please.
Are you? What What was all that?
If I could explain it to you, I would.
Oh, great. More of that.
And it's not a matter of me wanting to, I'm not quite sure.
Elenora is still screaming from the tree.
As Tyson will try to push against the door to then be let out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah.
You look out and Elenora is swinging from her broken leg. The chain is wrapped around her broken leg, and she is in one of the trees, and she is looking quite thin.
Is the shadowy stuff completely dissipated from Tyson?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll let the door.
It's like, we're gonna do a quick check.
Yeah.
No demon?
Scan. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She
Kix
said we shouldn't go over there.
But Nora's right there.
Focus on this. Focus on this. I need your help. Don't look at what's going on over there. Focus. I need you to help me break this.
Break what? The building?
Just help me. Yes.
The whole building, just break it?
I don't know. Maybe the rooms.
As she smashes into one of these runes, you hear a screech come from inside the house.
Yeah, I don't think it likes it. We should probably definitely keep smashing.
One of the windows bursts out. And then it seems to go down the hallways up the top floor as the windows are bursting out across the top floor, and it appears to be moving downward. There are pieces of rocks. There are rocks. Yep. Tyson apparently is really good at smashing stuff. If you just throw him into the stuff.
It's not liking that. Please hurry.
And it is now making it to the second floor as all of the windows begin bursting out across. Are you guys smashing? Just constant.
Keep smashing as Ty starts walking close, like towards the building, becoming like a standing in between the house and them. Don't be afraid.
Trying to think of anything inside of a mausoleum that is. Do I see anything that is better than a stone to try to start hitting this stuff with?
There's a large bust that seems to be made of bronze. And there are
let
some
me smash that head in. Yeah, please. I just want to do that.
Okay, so you take it is you just grab one of these busts and start smashing at runes. Jack, as you go to smash one of the runes, it looks familiar. You've seen this runes? It never struck you before, but this was inscribed on the victim's body. You've seen this, but it's too late. Just as you notice, just as you're swinging in, and it shatters. More windows. All of a sudden, you can hear policemen yelling.
Okay, we need to break
Slowly.
This down. Step back. And I still have 2 more uses, and I didn't want to use the second one so soon. We need to destroy this. We need to end this now. I know there's a price I pay to keep asking, but can you make this happen? I'd like to use my second bound option to call an NT again. I have 1 use left.
Okay. You hear the cops yelling. And seemingly there's no response. Tyson.
I pull my gun out and away whatever the hell Tyson's about to do.
Okay. So, Kix, you're sitting there smashing that. The windows burst out of the first floor, and crawling out the back patio, you see this shadowy figure crawling. Its face is melting. You recognize this is the entity, and it is screaming. It is cursing in this guttural language you cannot understand.
I will keep bashing, and I will say, yeah, fuck you very much. I told you to answer my questions, but no, you just couldn't. Just keep bashing.
And it is it's seemingly like it's almost growing in size, but it's Fern Gully. It's the guy trying to crawl across the land, and it's just slowly becoming this slick behind it. And you continue to bash away. Tyson, there's no answer. What the fuck? You're in your head, you become enraged. You turn to look at this building. And as you do, a very tall, slender, ashy-skinned gentleman walks up seemingly out of nowhere from behind you. Looks down at you with that familiar smirk, solid black suit, cane in hand. Looks over at you, Jack. Looks at Kix. Kix, you feel inclined to back away. You recognize this one. And this individual walks up to the house, both hands on the cane, taps the cane in front of the building, and looks back at the creature behind you. Now, I told you to keep your hands off of what was mine. And it slams the cane down. The building crumbles. And as the building crumbles, this tall individual turns and walks back. And as you all turn to look and see where they're walking, they're gone.
The creature?
Yes. And Tyson, by looking at Kix, you can tell Kix, this is the one you were afraid of. Jack, that just looks like the lawyer to you. You just saw the lawyer come up. I mean, that description, it looks like the lawyer coming up.
The fuck was he on about? And how did he do that?
Do I have any recollection of encountering him beyond this? And I mean, so not in the way that I normally have, but in a more supernatural sense, assuming that any memories are coming back to me that aren't.
Roll for repressed memories.
That is, -2. Shit, that's a 6.
So with that, Tyson, you are back on the boat, screaming. You look down, your hands are covered in blood. You can't remember what set you off, what pushed you into this rage. You don't understand. You didn't do this. But as you look behind you, this tall, slender gentleman, ashy gray skin, solid black suit, is ripping limbs off of your friends. And you find yourself melting and sinking into a corner and staring. For a brief moment, you could swear you hear Elenora speaking. But you continue to stare into this corner. And Tyson, in this moment, you find yourself fetal position, sitting down, rocking back and forth.
I take this 2 hits of stability.
You do.
Yeah, I thought so. Just make sure, just keeping it honest. No,
Yep, that's accurate. Jack, you see Tyson begin to have this meltdown. This is at this point not that uncommon for you. You're very confused as to what just happened. Tyson bears you no response. Kix, you see this happen. You see what's happening to Tyson. You still see Elenora, like you see Elenora drop from the tree. Her screaming stops as she lies there motionless. All of you see that.
Is Tyson visibly
like just
alive?
catatonic? Yeah, Tyson
Okay.
is just staring and occasionally muttering things. But you see Elenora fall unconscious on the ground, seemingly.
I'm gonna run over to her since he's.
Yeah, you run over. She's breathing, but she is unconscious. Her leg is very clearly broken. And she looks pale. And she just doesn't look good. She doesn't look like she's dying actively, like she seems to be stabilized, but she is not okay.
She's alive.
Kicks.
The lesser one is gone.
Yes, like you look back and there's just this oil slick running down the hill to the house. You can hear cops yelling from inside the house. They don't seem to have noticed you yet.
Do I get the sense that the other one is here? Or
Yes. You get the feeling that was just a fragment, because you can feel a weight coming from the other side of that house. And as you're looking around, you see dark storm clouds rolling in, and all of you can start to hear a rumbling. Kix, you know that there is not much time left, as what was binding everything seems to be
falling apart, kind of. I want to like say if is there anywhere that like they can get safe, but there's not really.
You right now you look up and there is a small, like, as the shadows seem to be encroaching just the edge of view. For Jack, you see this, and Kix, you are. Tyson, you're so out of it at this moment that you're not aware. You do see a small shack up on a hill. And you feel in this moment you have limited time with them, but you feel like there's this that buys you just enough. As you can hear the officers, you hear shattering of glass, flipping of tables. They're looking. You can hear yelling. They haven't noticed you yet. Your time is running out. What are you doing? Jack, you have Elenora.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick her up.
What do you do, Kix?
Just say.
Well, you see that house. You know that they're about to be swarmed by these officers.
Just don't. She's going to be fine. Your friend Tyson is going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Don't trust everything that you see.
Speaking with an awful lot of certainty.
Just don't fall for any more of their tricks. They're very dangerous, especially this new one. It looks to be
lawyer?
out for your friend, yes. They don't play fair. They're very nasty, and they can do a lot of damage.
Quick question.
Silas, you need to listen to me. You need to not trust everything that you see.
Including you.
Yes, including me. Just, you need to protect yourself. Your friends.
And mask comes down. Normal person in front of you. It appears one of the officers is pointing their gun out the back patio door and seems to be shouting at the others inside. It's growing darker.
It'll be okay.
Where do we go?
There's nowhere to go.
kicks. You begin to flicker. And you see the edge of shadow. You know that's your exit. What do you do? Do you stay with them or do you retreat?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've got things I've got to do. Please. Good luck. And I jump out of.
She jumps running to the edge of the light, of what the remaining daylight there is, and she's gone. Seemingly vanishes from existence. You are sitting there holding Elenora. Tyson, you are rocking back and forth as officers run up and rush and are yelling, "Hold it! Don't move!" And they're pointing their guns at you and you are surrounded. Jack, you are the lone, currently conscious individual.
They say.
What are you doing?
I will look up to the officers and say, "This one here needs medical attention. My name is Detective
Did he do
Jack
it?
Graves." Did who do it?
They're looking at Tyson.
No, he's in a fit of his own.
Is that him? And the tall, slender gentleman walks up from behind them. Yes. That's my boy. And he turns and walks away. As these officers come over and pick Tyson up.
No, please, no.
And they are beginning to take Tyson away.
Jack, don't let them take me, please.
God.
What are you doing?
I don't trust anything I see.
So what are you doing?
It's just...
One of them goes to take Elenora from you.
That's not gonna happen. Yeah, I'll kind of I guess I'm holding her like that, so I will kind of give them the shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Everything's fine. We're gonna go get her some help. Look, that man is very disturbed. Okay? Needs help. He escaped. They have to take him back. He's hurt a lot of people.
Take him back where?
That's really none of your concern, sir. You're an officer, right? Jack
Just
Graves,
what's
is
my
that...
concern?
It's on a need-to-know basis. You understand, right? It's not. That doesn't ring the bell to you at all. As an officer, that makes zero fucking sense to you. You're like...
Who's in charge? I want to speak with who's in charge.
This way. Back towards the house. As they have their guns trained on you. Oh, you have a thing, don't you?
Yeah.
They are lying through their teeth.
I think I'm gonna wait for help for her.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to do.
No, bring
I
help
am the
here.
help. And he lunges at Elenora.
I'm going to deflect, so he will be lunging at my back.
Okay. They begin to, their faces start to melt off. And they are seemingly starting to chase you as their arms and legs elongate and their backs hunch over.
Dope.
What
I'm
are you
going
doing?
to throw over fireman's carry and fucking book it to the groundskeeper's house.
Okay, so you are running to the groundskeeper's house. Tyson, you are being carted away. You are being held by these people. And they're following this gentleman in a dark suit with his cane. What are you doing? Is there...
I think, is this a new scene from the Mausoleum Destruction?
Yes.
So I will not, so I won't use my last bound feature. Instead, passively, do I feel that there's that sense of this being off more than normal? I mean, obviously it always feels off.
Everything feels off right now. The guy in front of you feels familiar. You've seen him. That's him.
So I think I'm gonna stick to I'm gonna go, since where's my mental say that?
Not great.
Irrational. I am going to use inner power then.
Okay.
Where my mysterious power will just lash out, and it determines how intense it'll be with this roll.
Okay.
Give me good. That is 16. So my power will lash out and attack all opponents in my vicinity, causing 2 harm.
Okay. So as you do this, you scream and you are dropped to your knees as this burst of inky black energy just radiates from you. The creatures, their facades melt away, and they are these long, lanky, pale, ashy skinned, faceless creatures. They are clearly harmed, but they are not dead. And you now see what is holding you as the world around you is melting away. The grass is melting away. The house in front of you is melting away. It is black. There is nothing but these creatures holding you, following this tall figure through nothing. The black floor beneath you that you're being dragged across, your feet dangling behind you, goes from feeling like dirt and grass to slick tile. You start to see colors. Green and white, diamond pattern. A strange smell. Clean, sweet. You can hear occasional hollering and strange stemic noises. White walls. Green trim. Gray doors. Clanging of metal. Slamming of a metal door. One opens. White tile. As you stare down at the floor, silver bed frame, gray sheets, small mirror, tiny barred window. As you are thrown onto the bed. Door closes behind you. Small slit opens. Food tray delivered through the door. You look up into the mirror. You are wearing off green, pale sweatsuit over white t-shirt, somewhat stained. You look beat up. Your face looks pale, dark circles under your eyes. Stare out a barred window. What do you do in this moment?
The barred window, can I see clearly outside of it just from here?
Yep, it's snowing. There is a barbed wire fence that you can see. Empty basketball court. Parking lot.
To the door where the food tray came in.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I? What? No. Where's Elenor? Jack. And we'll start kind of like beating on the door.
Just panicking.
Pure panic.
Pure panic. Okay. So, one of the guards comes up. Solid green scrubs, name tag that just says Mike. Above it, it says Bradford Mental Facility. You see this through your tiny window. Tyson, have you taken your meds?
Meds? I don't.
Tyson, you know, take your meds, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you'll be the winner, Tyson. Right?
Winner.
Good behavior. You've been so good, Tyson. They're on your
Elenora
tray.
needs help.
We know. Elenora will be okay. Tyson, have you taken your medication?
No.
Tyson, take your medication, please. You've been so good. You get coffee tomorrow morning if you take your medication today, Tyson.
Coffee? What about and Scarlett and Edmund?
Nurse, he's at it again. And you hear footsteps coming down. Does he need the injection again? I think so. He won't take his meds.
I'm not, whatever this is, I'm not supposed to be here. Listen.
Do I need to tell Nora? No, don't tell Nora. Don't tell her. Tyson, come on, dude, man, do me a solid. Just take your meds real quick. We'll hash this out later, right?
Do I see the meds on the tray?
You do. Everything's kind of blurry in this moment because you're panicking. There is a little packet. It's pre-assembled, has your name across the top, and there's a bunch of like letters and numbers on there. And there are 4 pills inside.
Okay. So I'm gonna take the packet, open, turn slightly away from the viewing point, and just do it, but like to the side of my mouth, and just kind of like pocket, like it seems like I'm gonna hold it in the hand and assuming there's something to drink on the tray.
Yes, there's orange juice.
Well,
over here, Tyson. Don't think that's the first time. Come here, open your mouth. Come on.
As I will be holding the pills in the hand still, doing the whole tongue up, tongue down, move along the teeth on each side, show the full gums.
All right, Tyson. We'll go check on Elenora.
Pretty
sure she's still sleeping. And they just close your little, like they slide across
her
the
leg.
top part.
What about Jack? And
nobody responds. Jack, you're running to this house. You have Elenora thrown over your shoulder. The edge of your view is continuing to get darker and darker. It feels like it's zeroing in on you. Coming closer as you make it to this house. Eleonora's eyes open and look up at you, and you can see her smile and kind of begin to cry. She goes to speak, but nothing comes out. And then she just hugs you. As you can hear those creatures following you. They're running at you, and you go in, slam the door.
Is there a lock?
Yeah, there's a lot of locks.
Okay. I'm going to lock every one of them that I can manage.
It's growing darker outside.
Do I see... is there an open wound on her leg, or is it just like internally broken?
It's broken. You can see it's just very purple, green. It's all kinds of colors already. You know it's bad.
Is there any open wound portion of it though?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay. How are you? How are you holding up? Okay. All right. Just rest.
As you can see, there are bruises all across her neck that they look like chain marks.
Just lay back and rest.
And you can see her trying to say, like, she's trying to say Tyson.
It's fine. I'll go back for him here in a minute.
Yeah, you will, buddy.
Promise.
Yeah, stay safe, right?
Yeah. Okay, so what I want to do is, okay, so Elenora, I'm going to try and help you real fast. It's going to be slightly painful and then no more pain, but it should help with the throat and everything. So just lay back, and I'm sorry about the quick pain. So I'm going to, I forgot what she was wearing. I think a skirt or whatever. I'm going to raise up to at least the thigh, like right above the knee. I'm going to uncap the morphine that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to create an incision into her. I don't have a syringe, so I'm just going to have to hopefully some of it gets in the bloodstream. And then pour the morphine into that open wound.
I mean, she would be screaming if she could,
Yes.
but it's not long. It only takes moments, and she begins to almost fall into sleep.
Okay.
It's black outside of the windows.
Right. So I don't have any options. So I'm going to,
Roll keep it together.
yeah, sure will. Seven.
Oh, yeah, that is -4 stability. Everything is shattering around you. You begin to panic. Where are you at right now?
With a -4, I'm at critical.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yeah, anxious, critical.
Okay. In this moment, the room is getting darker. You're trapped. You are trapped. You are trapped. Trapped. Jack, you're trapped. You gotta get out, Jack. You're trapped. What does Jack do? There's a white, chalky hand that comes across with long, creepy, elongated fingers across one of the windows. You see just as it touches.
I'm going to go over in front of Elenora. I'm going to sort of bend down, get on like sort of both knees, pull out my gun, and reload it, I think, at this point. And wait for the thing that I no longer trust to be real.
Yeah. So you're sitting there with your gun out. The room gets darker and darker and darker. Darker. Elenora is like clutching onto your arm. You can feel her shaking. And you hear, in this darkness, you hear somebody yelling. Nurse!
Like outside?
Yeah, like you just in this pitch black, you hear, nurse! Won't take his meds. Should I tell Nora? Don't tell Nora. And you open your eyes. White tile floor. White walls. Metal bed frame. Clutching a teddy bear. Green jumpsuit over a white t-shirt. Barred window. Clean smell. Hatch opens. Tray comes through. Guess what, buddy? You get a new roommate today. Get to move on up.
You're not real.
Don't forget to take your meds, man.
Don't
5-0 right now.
Don't trust anything. Where's Elenora?
What are you all concerned about? She's doing just fine. And you hear this guy mumbling as he's like walking off.
I need my gun.
You hear like down the hall, you can hear him laughing. Like, that motherfucker don't need no gun. What the hell are you gonna do with a gun? Yeah, you look through the little hatch. You can see green scrubs and you see a man with green scrubs like talking through a window, seemingly be like, hey man, just take your meds, it'll be all right, like let me see, like I don't know that, you know. And you can see the nurse like beginning to back away as they're talking through this door. And you see your tray in front of you: oatmeal, orange juice, coffee, and your pills with your name at the top. Do you want to say what name is on those pills, Jack?
It would read Silas Black.
You also
shove the tray like back through the window.
You shove the tray back through. Oh man, come on! You're gonna lose your coffee privileges. God damn it! And you see like the other male and scrubs come over, start cleaning it up. Hey nurse, we're probably gonna need another one over here. I don't know what's gotten into him today. And as you're looking through the window, kicks. So as you leap through the shadow, you come to standing over Silas's thin body. You have key in hand. You go to the door, you open, looking out. You notice that the charge nurse is at the other end of the hallway. Now's your chance to sneak back out.
Do I see her?
No, you are sleeping. This is before you've awoken.
Shit.
Gosh. Is there
you can see them starting at their they're, you can tell they're starting their round, so they're at the far end of one hallway.
Okay.
So you know the direct route out. So you're on what would be the second floor. First, like if you just want to get to the first floor, there's a laundry chute right across the way from you that does lead down to laundry room and out, which is how you got in the first place.
Can I grab the paper and the pen pad and write something?
Yes.
Ooh. I will write on there, remember your name, remember who you are, don't trust everything you see, and I will roll it up and I will put it in his hand or a pocket or something, maybe in a pocket.
Okay.
And then I will just kind of pat him on the head and start trying to sneak out.
Yeah. You sneak, you make your way to the laundry chute. As you get to the laundry chute, you begin to make your way down quietly, and you can hear Tyson yelling.
Oh, is anybody down there?
Like you can look out and you can see that the charge nurse is standing there. Come on, man.
So they're talking to Tyson?
Yeah, you can hear them trying to talk to Tyson. You can hear Tyson panicking, asking about Elenora. And as you do, you see a tray shoot out of the door that you just came out of. And you can hear Jack in there. Don't trust anything. You can see the charge nurse bitching outside the door.
I keep keeping on.
You just go down.
Do anything to help.
You go down the chute into the laundry hamper. Nobody's around. Sneak your way right out the service entrance. Looking back, you see Elenora sitting in her window, looking down at you, crying. And you were met at the gate by a familiar black van. They just nod at you. Open the door. Come in.
Yeah.
And you drive off. Jack, you do see that laundry chute flip just ever so slightly. And you do feel in your pocket there is a piece of paper that reads, remember your name. Remember who you are. And with that, you begin to hear clicking of heels coming down the hallway. A woman, nurse's outfit, wide jaw, pulled back tight into a bun, bright red hair, penciled on eyebrows. Yeah, we're getting there. Makes her way down. Name tag says Nurse Nora. Makes her way immediately over to your door, Silas. Now, Silas, you've been so good. I am so very disappointed. You know, your new roommate will not appreciate this behavior. And I would hate to see you have to get moved up to the 3rd floor. Be a good boy now. Take your medication. Remember, evil behavior comes from not taking your medication. And that is where we are going to end tonight's episode, unless in these moments I will allow if there's anything Tyson or Jack Silas would like to do before we wrap.
Actually, yeah.
Okay, Tyson. What are you doing, Tyson?
I have 1 bound left for this session.
Okay.
I don't believe what's going on. I want to see the truth.
Okay. As you are sitting in your room, everything drawn, reality flickers. Outside, not in here. It's not snowing, but everything outside is dead. The skies are gray. There's a rumble of thunder, and it snaps back. It is a pleasant snow, quaint basketball court, filled parking lot. And you can hear the heels making their way down the hallway. And with that, Jack?
Yeah, I have
Okay.
42,000 questions, but I'll save them.
Okay. So with that, we will conclude this episode of Far Realms, leading into Chapter 2, where we will be spending our time in an asylum. We will have a great special guest confirmed, possibly others. Be checking that announcement out soon. I love my players. Thank you so much for guesting April. Will Kix come back? We shall see. But we will go ahead and let my players give their info. So we'll go ahead and start with our lovely special guest. April, would you like to, and maybe Jay will come back.
Oh, I think Jay's just peeking. Yes, my name is April Hill. You can find me at stiletto_assassin on Instagram, stiletto DM on Twitter, and here on the Initiative Order every Monday night, where I am the overseer for Vault, a Fallout-inspired RPG set in the Texas Commonwealth in 2177. Oh yeah, and I'm going to be doing stuff with Modifius, because now I work for them. So yeah. So be looking for more of that because got some great things and great ideas in store for that. So yeah.
Ronan.
Hi. I'm Ronan Fox.
Love you,
You can find
bro.
me at Ronan Fox on the socials. Writer, world builder. On Twitch, I am building Valandrica, a world that I hope is as extensive as Tolkien's Middle Earth. So that's my goal, is to kind of inspire other people to do the same thing. I am on this game. And I am in Ecrium Expeditions on DM_screenings channel. That's on every other Tuesday. This Tuesday, then going every other. I was guest starring on the Fallout thing, where I played a person in a lot more control than in this situation. That was fun. That's it. That's all I got. Jay, help me out.
Poor Ronan. Love you, Ronan. We'll play New World or something together. It'll be fine. Jay, Mr. Casual.
Hey.
Come say goodbye to people.
It's been a day. And I guess I'm Jay Casual. You can find me on all social media at just2casual and Casual Creativity on Twitch. I do variety streaming and storytelling, and I make words do things. That's I'm totally not feeling emotional turmoil over this episode. And yeah, also I am writing my own anime-inspired manga, homage to all things that made me enjoy JRPGs and the storytelling with Deep Breath, where the old world of magic, casters, and dragons are in conflict with the new world of technology with computers and hackers. In the midst of that conflict, enjoy playing races and species and classes inspired by things such as Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Tokyo Ghoul, classics like Yu Yu Hakusho, and so much more. You can enjoy the retro-futuristic urban fantasy setting of Horiath. Inhale anticipation, explore deep breath, exhale excitement. You can also catch me on Mondays when the Vault's coming back after we get through these awesome series. You will be seeing me come back, but you'll also get a one-on-one session seeing the backstory of Sugar Cyrus, whose name has been revealed. The past has been illuminated, but the turmoil has yet to be explored. You can also catch me on Tuesdays on Gilding Light, as we are entering the last 2 episodes of She is the Ancient, a gender-bent Curse of Strahd, where we don't just change the genders, we change the narrative in a way that really highlights the beauty of the world without the toxicity of it. You can also catch me on Creators Assemble certain Fridays on Agents of Nyx, where I am bringing my Homebrew Deep Breath class in there, as the gods are dead and we are fighting against what remains. And also stay tuned for many more things happening, including some Deep Breath campaigns, so you get all the anime goodness and the storytelling in a way that casual can tell. And let me also end off saying, as much as my soul has been ripped out, my brain has been shredded, and my body has a visceral reaction to breathing now, thank you, Keeper, for providing such an amazing story thus far. To really put us through this takes a special talent. And that's not me putting it lightly. This has been a phenomenal chapter 1, a beautiful transition into chapter 2. And my God, I hate you with so much love.
Thanks. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but hey, Darren Hackett, also your keeper and eldritch entity, feeding off of the suffering of others. I'm also just a generally creative human and a TTRPG performer, GM here, and I'm also in Vault on the Mondays. I am in Ecrium Expeditions every other Tuesday on DM Screenings channel as I play Eden, and she has lots of questions to be asking people tomorrow because that's all she does. And what else? Is that everything that I'm doing right now? I think that might be everything, you guys. Oh, wait, except for my dice, because I'm a dice maker at UO_dice on the Instagram. I do have dice in stock in my shop. They are increasingly discounted because I want to make room for the holidays. You guys, UO_dice on Instagram, link in bio for my shop, and merchandise because I have shirts and stuff too. Hey, it's a thing. And thank you guys so much for joining us for chapter 1. I love my players, literally some of like my absolute favorite people in the world, on top of the fact that I get to horrify them, even though Jay may never talk to me again. We'll see. And we will see you guys, not this next Sunday, but the next one for chapter 2, where we will have the lovely special guest as well. So you guys have a lovely spoopy rest of October, and we'll see you next time.